Hello everyone, Ryan here. I'm back with another album review. I realize it's been a while since I've done another album review, so decided to continue with my reviews of various Metallica albums. And even though I considered reviewing the Garage Days album, actually double album, I guess ultimately I decided not to because it's a bunch of covers. Even though granted they are definitely very awesome, well recorded, well performed cover songs. Yeah, I decided to pass on reviewing it, but it is pretty awesome. Ultimately, I do give that album 5 metal horns. And then I decided to pass on Metallica S&M, mostly because it is just pretty much just a live recording of the time when they performed with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. Even though it is pretty great, it is pretty awesome. There are only 2 new songs on that album, which I believe is titled, one is No Leaf Clover. I really like that song. That's an awesome song. And the other new song off that album is Minus Human. I also like that one. Ultimately, I do give that album 5 metal horns, obviously. But yeah, I guess I decided to pass on that one too, because it's essentially like a re-recording of many of their other live performances. Well, not a re-recording, but I think you know what I mean. Alright. So anyways, moving on here, I wanted to review Saint Anger. And Saint Anger, of course, was released June 5th, 2003. And this is another one of Metallica's albums that disappointed a lot of quote-unquote fans, or rather quote-unquote die-hard fans. Now, of course, it is their 8th studio album, and I'll go ahead and give the track listing here, talk about my favorites and some other interesting stuff. So first song off Saint Anger is titled Frantic, and that is 5 minutes 50 seconds long. Second track is Saint Anger, the title track, that is 7 minutes 21 seconds long. Third is Some Kind of Monster, that is 8 minutes 25 seconds long. Fourth is Dirty Window, that is 5 minutes 24 seconds long. Fifth is titled Invisible Kid, that is 8 minutes 30 seconds long. Sixth is My World, that is 5 minutes 45 seconds long. 7 is Shoot Me Again, that is 7 minutes 10 seconds long. 8 is Sweet Amber, that is 5 minutes 27 seconds long. 9 is The Unnamed Feeling, that is 7 minutes 9 seconds long. 10 is Purify, that is 5 minutes 13 seconds long. And last track, number 11, is titled All Within My Hands, that is 8 minutes 49 seconds long. Yeah. That's also the longest song on the entire album, 8 minutes 49 seconds. So, as far as my favorites go, my 5th favorite off Saint Anger is Purify. I really like the guitar riffs on that. Also like the lyrics. My 4th favorite is Invisible Kid. Again, I like the guitar riffs, like the lyrics. My 3rd favorite is The Unnamed Feeling. Also like the guitar riffs and the lyrics. I especially like the different vocal harmonies that James Hetfield employs on that song. My 2nd favorite is Sweet Amber, and I also happen to believe this is one of the most, or in fact the most underrated song off of Saint Anger. Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like on this one, more than any other song on this album, it seemed to me like James was really pushing his vocals. But I mean, that's just my opinion. And of course, my number one favorite off of this album would definitely be the title track, Saint Anger. And so yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm not going to say that I believe the song Saint Anger is the best Metallica song ever. No, I don't believe that. That would in fact be very hard for me to decide on. Like the best Metallica song ever. Nor do I feel like Saint Anger is the best Metallica album ever. I mean, especially when you compare it to obviously all of their other albums. But I will say, getting back to what I said earlier about many quote-unquote die-hard Metallica fans were disappointed by this album, in large part because of the fact that there are no guitar solos on this. Kirk Hammett has absolutely no guitar solos whatsoever. That's obviously, to me, as a fan, that disappointed me more than anything. But ultimately, I still enjoyed the album, especially back when it first came out in 2003 and I first got my copy. I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though obviously I didn't like that there weren't any guitar solos. But I mean, ultimately, I got over it. I mean, it's just like with anything else, you know, usually as human beings we're forced to adapt to certain situations, circumstances. I mean, you know, pretty much, ultimately, you don't really have a choice in such matters anyways. So, but another thing I liked was that after this album was released, sometime after, I'm not sure exactly how long after, I want to say maybe about maybe a couple months or maybe like 3 or 4 months later, they released a documentary titled Some Kind of Monster, and it depicts the entire recording process that they went through while recording the Saint Anger album. And so yeah, I mean, they really went through a lot just while recording this album. I mean, firstly, they started recording it at one studio and they had to stop, or rather they decided to stop due to different circumstances, conflicting circumstances. And then also too, that's when James Hetfield, I want to say sometime when they were in the middle of recording the album, James Hetfield checked back into rehab, mostly because it was something that he definitely felt like he had to do. For those of you who don't know, James Hetfield, of course, I mean, I guess you could say, yeah, he struggled with alcohol addiction for a very long time. Obviously also other addictions, but I think for him it was primarily alcohol. So yeah, all the members, they hit this crossroads, I guess you could say, and they even went so far as to employ some kind of psychiatrist, therapist guy. He's present in the documentary Some Kind of Monster, and he, I guess, also did his best to keep the band together. He got them to be a lot more open with how they feel about certain situations when it comes to the band, because prior to that they weren't very open with each other about how they felt about, you know, their own roles in the band, which I liked. I liked that part of the documentary. I liked the documentary overall. I mean, obviously I know it's fair to say that I'm a big Metallica fan, so I like pretty much anything Metallica. But I mean, obviously, you know, if there's something that I don't like that they've done, then I've in the past I've voiced my opinion about it. Such as when I said, you know, the Saint Anger album, I don't believe it to be the best Metallica album, but it is good. Ultimately, I do give Saint Anger 5 metal horns. I do 5 out of 5, and I know that I know that a lot of Metallica fans don't agree with that. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of Metallica fans still to this day give Saint Anger a very low rating. I don't think that's fair. I don't. That's just me. I mean, yeah, you can keep complaining. I mean, they can keep saying, it sucks because there's no solos on there. Kirk Hammett, it doesn't have a big presence on there. Blah blah blah. Another thing I've heard different fans complain about is the fact that Saint Anger was recorded in a different guitar tuning, because usually most of Metallica's songs have been recorded in standard tuning, which is on guitar, that's the notes would be E, A, D, G, B, E, standard tuning, or I believe ever since like the 90s they've recorded in like E flat tuning or sharp. So yeah, in Saint Anger, all the guitars are tuned down to, I want to say, I believe C, if not C sharp, but I'm pretty sure definitely C. So that's why Saint Anger overall definitely has a much more lower tone, lower register. Why they decided to do that, I don't know. They're probably just, they wanted to just ultimately make something as raw as possible. And also, too, another thing people complain about the most is the snare drum. Lars's snare drum on every song on the album has a really very, very metallic sound to it. And I know, like, a lot of people always made fun of that fact, and it was like some people actually believe that Lars, they didn't realize that he did it on purpose. They thought that he was like going insane or something, or that he was, that he really didn't give a crap about how his drum sounded, or something along those lines, which that really wasn't the case. But anyways, so yeah, I do give Saint Anger 5 metal horns out of 5. I encourage everybody to listen to the song on this album. I'll link to some of the videos down below. It's a good album. It's not the best Metallica album, but it is good. So there you go, 5 out of 5 metal horns. Yes. So thank you for watching. More album reviews to come. Obviously, I will continue to record more Metallica album reviews. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, until next time, keep it real, keep on rocking. Peace.